Ever wondered why your cakes keep sinking in the middle? In this video, I'm going to tell you why and how to fix it, because you're not supposed to be wasting your ingredients. One of the reasons why your cake will sink in the middle is because of too much leavening agents. Leavening agents are those ingredients that will make your cake rise. It's like baking powder and baking soda. These two things can work with you or against you. If you forget to add them, problem. Add them too much, problem. So one of the reasons why your cake will sink in the middle is because of too much leavening agent. So a customer ordered an apple cake from me. I've done this cake before, so I used the same recipe. When I made the first one, it sank in the middle, literally. So I said, okay, I'm going to make it in the night. So I made the same cake in the night and it also sank in the middle. At this point, I didn't know what to do. So the next day of delivery, I had to research and know the reason why this cake is sinking in the middle. I eventually realized that I used too much leavening agent. So I had to reduce the leavening agent I used and the cake came out nice. So that was how I wasted my ingredients. But that was not my problem. I just wanted the customer to receive the cake intact and in a very good condition. Too much leavening agent is one of the things that can make your cake to sink in the middle. So you always have to be careful not to add too much leavening agent in your cake, because it might ruin your cake and your ingredients will get wasted. Always sift your dry ingredients. Make sure your wet ingredients are mixed together before combining them. In some cakes like chocolate cake and red velvet cake, which are oil-based cake, you can also sieve the batter after mixing it with a sieve to remove any lump in the batter, so that you're going to have a smooth batter. Did you know that an expired baking powder can ruin your cake? Let me tell you, when you add an expired baking powder into your cake, it's as good as you didn't add any leavening agent, because your cake will come out dense and tough and Baker will start posting bad cake day. Let me tell you how to fix this and how to avoid putting an expired baking powder in your cake if you are not sure of the expiry date. Always check your expiry date though. It's necessary, it's really important. Check the expiry date of your baking ingredients so that you wouldn't waste your efforts and your ingredients. If your baking powder is expired, maybe you're not really sure of the expiry date or you don't know how to check your expiry date. Add your baking powder into water. If it bubbles, that means this baking powder is still active. But if it doesn't bubble, that means it's probably expired. This is how to check if your baking powder is expired. So don't add an expired baking powder into your cake, because it's as good as not adding any baking powder. Your cake will come out dense, tough, baker. Let's check your expiry date. Start today. How do I make my cake softer and fluffier? Always use room temperature ingredients, especially eggs and butter. Mix butter and sugar thoroughly and don't overmix once the flour is added. Adding buttermilk and yogurt can also improve softness depending on the recipe you are using anyways. Does your fresh bread get squished when you try to slice it? Here is a pro tip. Always use a serrated knife when slicing your bread and let the bread cool completely before slicing it. Slicing a warm bread ruins the texture. Just be patient and you enjoy perfect bread slices. If you ever wondered why your cakes bake unevenly, the secret is where you place it. Always ensure to place your cake in the middle rack to ensure even heat distribution from top to bottom. Too high heat makes it brown too fast. Too low heat makes it undercooked. Try this in your next cake and it's come out really nice. If you like tips like this, don't forget to follow me, like and share for more baking tips. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Did you know overmixing can ruin your cake? Let me tell you how. When you overmix, you develop too much gluten, which makes your cake dense and tough. What's gluten? Gluten is a structural protein found in wheat and some other grains. So when you overmix, develop too much gluten in your butter, which will make the final outcome of the cake tough and dense, and you don't want that. If you want to avoid this, stop mixing immediately everything is well combined. Try this in your next cake and you see how light and fluffy your cake turn out. That's what I wanted to bake, but I didn't realize my mom put my eggs back into the fridge. Hi everyone, welcome to my page, and here I'm going to be sharing baking tips with you. I wanted to bake an impromptu cake order. I didn't realize my mom put my eggs back into the fridge. But guess what? I didn't use them like that. I had to put them in water and slightly heat the water so that the eggs could get to room temperature. This is another reminder for you not to use your cold ingredients like that. So your butter, bring them out before baking so that they could thaw and get softened, not extremely softened, but they have to be in room temperature before you use them. Milk, your eggs, you have to bring them out before baking. Like this that my mom put them back and I didn't realize. You have to do what I did, putting them in water and leaving them to get to room temperature. If you found it helpful, don't forget to follow me, like the video, share to your baker family and friends, and thank me later. You want more cake, use room temperature ingredients. The other criteria, I'm going to tell you those in another video. Tired of crumbs in your frosting? Crumb coat is your best friend. Crumb coat straps crumbs and lets your cake look flawless after the final decoration. Just let your cake sit for 10 to 15 minutes in the fridge after crumb coat before applying the final frosting on the cake. Try this for your next cake and thank me later because you're going to have a clean finish.